I'm Del Robertson. I'm an affinity author along with Annette Maury and Ali Spooner, who set up these little chats and promos and stuff like that, and they're awesome at it. And they invited me to talk a little bit about my upcoming release, Bodhi and Gwen, a trilogy. So naturally being a trilogy, there's three stories in one book. The first one is My Fair Maiden, and that really introduces us to Bodhi and Gwen. Uh, Bodhi is, she's confident, a little bit arrogant, not quite the dashing hero that, you know, Gwen is looking for. Gwen is the not so pure, dainty maiden in question. She is a damsel in distress, though. She's looking for a hero. Somebody go ahead and cue that music from Bonnie Tyler, you know, the one holding out for a hero. Um, so Gwen, she's slated to be the latest virgin sacrifice to the local ogre that's terrorizing her village. Gwen's not quite so eager to go off to be a human sacrifice, though, virgin or otherwise. So her plan is to get a hero any way she can to help her out, to leave town. Things kind of progress. They meet. Bodhi's all for Gwen, but Gwen takes an instant dislike to Bodhi. There's trouble in the town, of course, because the villagers aren't quite so ready to give up their sacrifice that easily. Cut to the two of them, captured by the villagers. They're both chained up, waiting for the ogre to come get them. And I'm not going to tell you too much more about that because that would spoil the ending. But that brings us to part two of our three-parter, Malodorous. So Gwen and Bodhi apparently survived the last whatever you want to call that, adventure. And they're in a new town. They did not come in together, though. Gwen came on her own, found herself a job at a local tavern. She's met a captain of the guard. She's all about regulations and duty and proper and all that. Everything Bodhi's not. So you can imagine how annoyed Gwen is when Bodhi shows up. And make things worse. There's a curfew in the town because there's a murderer on the loose. And your guess is as good as mine as to how Bodhi ends up accused of murder and is thrown in the jail. And Gwen is left to fend for herself. So this time, it seems like it's up to Gwen to rescue Bodhi, not the other way around. So now we've got the damsel in distress. Not so much a damsel in distress because she can take care of herself. So finally, we come to All the Ghouls I've Loved Before, which is our third part of the trilogy. And I'm sorry, I can't speak right. Bodhi and Gwen are together traveling the open road. There's a storm. Bodhi gets thrown off her horse. She's injured. Horses take off. Supplies are gone. They're left walking. They stumble upon this deserted farmhouse, only it might not be quite so deserted. There's an axe left by the fire. It's still wet from the rain. There's, like I said, a fire. So who started the fire? That's a good question. And there's the ever-present hot boiling pot of gruel cooking above the open flames, which seems to be a theme in all three of these stories. I think there's a pot of gruel in every story. Um, and I always say soup's for sick people, so I'm not touching it. You guys, if y'all want some, that's up to y'all. But I got to warn you, back in those days, they put all the stuff in the pot, they set it out to boil, and then they would eat some of that. But then as the days went on, they would just keep adding more stuff to the pot. So it was like the never-ending buffet bar. Yeah, I'm not going for buffet either. But so anyway, back to Bodhi and Gwen. As you can guess from the title, this story has ghouls in it, and they're out to get our two favorite women, our swords wielding woman, and uh, Gwen with her trusting bow and arrow. So let's see if they can get their way out of this mess. So anyway, that's a nice little summary of Bodhi and Gwen, a trilogy. Um, it's officially release date is August 1st. It's on pre-order right now. You can order it through Affinity's website or Amazon or anywhere they're selling great big stories about women with swords. All right, thanks for listening to me ramble on.